actually got nothing. So fuck it. We're just gonna yeet into it. Who cares?
Welcome to the Protagonist podcast. I'm Alex. That is Ian. And we talk about 5 shows, even though we screw up sometimes and don't pick other shows that are good.
That's not the point. We're not here to always pick good shows. We're here to pick 5 shows almost completely at random that we think we can glean some kind of entertainment from.
And sometimes it's not random. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, Dr. Stone. We'll watch the 2nd season.
Sometimes it's like, yo, Dr. Stone, that was pretty cool. Holy shit. This show is terrible. Let's watch this one. And that show is X-Arm. And that's how X-Arm got on the list.
Yeah, sometimes you get on for being bad. But, like, you have to be special bad.
I feel like you can't purposefully be that special bad. Like, it's literally impossible to achieve on purpose.
Yeah. But the first show we talk about is Otherside Picnic. And
it's
it is
not special bad.
Yeah. It is special all right.
It's special decent.
Hey, Lieutenant.
That was my favorite part of this episode. We get the good Anguish.
They find American soldiers no less, on the other side.
Didn't we joke like last season about... No, it was this season. We made a joke about how America is always like, the Americans come in and save the day, and that's what fucking happens this episode.
All of them too. It's great. They're all caricatures of what, Japanese people probably assume the American military is like from TV and stuff.
It's so good.
Like the part where the guy is like, "Sir, they could be monsters from this side. Let's put them down. Stand down, Major."
Yeah.
And then after
stand down, Major.
He's like, "That's an order." And when he can't shoot the kids, he's like, "Damn."
It's
like
so
that's
good.
That's the atypical, or that's the typical conversation between American soldiers.
I feel
Let me kill these civilians, Sarge. They could be terrorists. No. Stand down. Damn.
Stand down, Lieutenant. I feel like all of their dialogue was written by us. I feel like we wrote that scene.
No, they just saw a military flick with just American soldiers and were like, yeah, that'll be the scene. Also, these were U.S. Marines stationed in Okinawa, which is a pretty, Okinawa is a pretty... I would say, if anything, Okinawa is a pretty good deployment. I'd say a pretty cushy spot to be put. This is the tactical... This is like the tactical... what's that movie with all the action heroes that you like that no one else in our friend group likes?
The Expendables?
Yeah, this is like the Expendables squad.
Yeah, it's great.
Where they're all the biggest badasses, and they're constantly ready. They got their ammo. Yeah, we've been in here for over a month. We lost a few guys, but we're still going. I feel like any group of Marines that are in Okinawa are just the most basic dudes.
Yeah, also, it's very convenient that at least one of them speaks Japanese, which is, I could understand that they would probably have someone.
Voiced by Suabe.
Yes. But holy shit, I'm so glad we've got B actors speaking English for unnamed characters, because that's when you get the real Kino English. Japanese VA, it's been too good in English. The Japanese VAs have been doing too good of a job with their English lately. This is what I want from English.
Hey, Lieutenant.
Just phonetic pronunciations. Just teach some intern the phonetic pronunciations of a script and just have him read it out.
They've been surviving perfectly fine for several months, for a whole month in the other side, and their sanity hasn't dropped or anything. They're just like, yeah, we're U.S. Marines, so we're trained to like handle anything. Also, they have a lot of ammunition for people that were out on just a training exercise in Japan.
And it's live ammunition.
Yeah, live ammunition that they've been probably having to use nightly for a month. A training exercise just in, I don't know, the woods of Okinawa.
Yeah, we sent a bunch of Marines to do a training exercise in the mountains of Okinawa.
Granted, they probably do training exercises, but I can't imagine they have live ammunition.
Exactly, that's the thing. Why would you...
Or if they did, for some weird reason, it wouldn't be enough.
Not for an entire month. Not after all the shit we've seen, like, 2 girls go through.
Yeah, and when the giant dude with the antlers shows up and they start shooting at him and all the other stuff. Also, I like how they get chased, bringing it back to Bloodborne. They get chased by the messengers from Bloodborne when they first get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the little ghost things coming out of the ground. I'm like, hey, that's the little things at the bonfires.
It's the little lantern messengers.
Yeah, you can give them little hats.
They don't actually, like, shoot at the I guess I'll call him the Antler Man, is actually a folklore figure that I recognize.
I'm going to call him Otherside Grandpa.
Otherside Grandpa. He is actually a figure that pops up in a lot of different mythologies around the world. So he's one I actually recognize, and I'm glad they didn't shoot at him. But we do get a real weird scene where everyone just like stands there staring at him,
and then he just leaves.
He just fucks off. He's like, "All right, see you guys. You guys take it easy."
The amount of ammunition they used just in that one encounter, saving the girls.
It's so much.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Yeah, it's a good thing your Canadian friend speaks English. Because could you imagine if guys. It was speaks English is in heavy quotation marks, because holy shit. But it's so good. I love it. It gives me life.
The way I see this panning out, though, is every time we meet anytime characters who are not these girls show up in any sort of situation, bad things happen to them. I'm like, these U.S. Marines ain't making it out.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be a Saving Private Ryan story where they get the girls out, but they all die in the process.
Yeah, we knew that one dude's name, and he still got yeeted by a ghost instantly. We don't know anyone's name.
And they're Marines, too, so they're the perfect disposable, like, soldiers to just be, to introduce, oh, this is a very dangerous monster. Watch it rip through the crowd.
They might as well have put them all in red fucking shirts. That's how dead these guys are.
Yeah, they're all gonna die, and then one dude who actually speaks Japanese in the group is probably gonna be the last one alive and do some sort of sacrifice.
Yeah,
I'll hold them back. Go on without me.
It's gotta be the action movie
elevator.
Hero. Get to the elevator. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see a huge firefight. I want to watch a lot of people shoot a lot of monsters and a lot of monsters chow down on a lot of faceless Marines.
That is neat, though, that we find out more about how the other side works, how they ran into Marines from Okinawa while they just showed up from Tokyo, which are miles apart.
Yeah, it warps space and time. Because they get sucked into the other side by accident after leaving a cafe. That's it. They go to a cafe and they hang out and they eat, and then all of a sudden they're just in the other side after they leave. And then the Marines show up. Calm down,
It's gonna be a weird
Greg.
concept where another country's military just is in your country all the time. Because it's like, oh, the U.S. Marines in Okinawa. That's like being like, hey, you know how we have the French stationed in Louisiana?
That would be some shit.
They just have a base there.
That would be the worst place to put a base. It's all just fucking swamps. And
yeah, but they got yeah, it really isn't of any strategic value.
Because there's even better places to put bases on the coastline. Put a base in Florida.
Yeah.
And then watch your base get wiped off the face of the map every year with a hurricane.
Well, I feel like if any place is going to survive a hurricane, it's going to be a military base.
But a French one, though?
No, not a French one. We had a friend in Guam, and they faced hurricanes all the time.
Yeah, and that sounds awful. It makes Guam. It's the top of my do not go list. Or at least it's up there. No.
I don't want to visit Guam either. From what he described, there's not much there.
It's a tiny island that gets hit with monsoons, and they're just angry birds.
Yeah, it's a tiny island whose main purpose of it is just our strategic military base in the Pacific.
This one's our strategic military base in the Pacific.
What if, off the coast, we build an oil rig with a private military company?
Whoa! Words that kill.
I still love that scene where Boss is describing how we're going to make diamonds from their ashes. Then he just wipes it on his face. Just imagine you watch someone and you're about to sort of spread someone's ashes and they just go, ah.
And they wipe the ashes. Yeah. I think my favorite part of that is not the scene itself, but an edit I've seen where someone edits a bag of Doritos in his hand, so it looks like he's eating Doritos. It's the greatest thing.
The meme version where he's holding both of his hands to his face, just wiping, and they're looking just so cleansed, just
What a Metal Gear scene right there. That's some typical Metal Gear writing.
That's your bog standard Metal Gear stuff.
You have to go through your base and kill everyone, and then you have to wipe their ashes on your face.
Boss, let's do some training. Then you flip the guy. Thank you, boss.
Thanks, boss. Good to see you, boss. Thanks, boss.
Metal Gear's cool.
Metal Gear is great.
Would have liked to see Metal Gear 5, the actual director's cut version, the way he wanted it.
Yeah. But you can't win them all, son. You can't win them all.
Yeah, and it's fine, because Metal Gear Solid 5 really wasn't necessary.
No.
If you know what I mean? It took such a brief period in the plot where they essentially said, yeah, something could happen here.
And
I feel like that was Star Wars. Everything Star Wars related is like, hey, there's this brief gap between these two movies. We can fit a whole movie or even a trilogy in that. Maybe a whole TV series.
Yeah, that's what the entire basis of what is it? Rogue One. That's the entire purpose of Rogue One.
Yeah, everything Star Wars is, hey, or Solo. Hey, remember when Han mentioned the Kessel Run that one time as just an offhand piece of dialogue? What if it was a whole film?
What if we turned all of the offhand pieces of dialogue that happened in that movie and just turned them into its own film? And you know what? Apparently it was pretty bad.
I didn't watch Solo.
I didn't either, but I haven't heard anything good about it.
I have not either, but that's mostly modern Star Wars besides The Mandalorian.
That's fair. Because you know what? Modern Star Wars isn't that good.
It makes you think back. Maybe Star Wars was never that good.
I'm starting to believe it. Because maybe Star Wars never was that good.
Hot take. Star Wars has had better video games than it has had movies.
That's not a hot take. That's a fact.
Good.
Just no matter what.
It's objective.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, not the most recent one, but the one for the classic Xbox.
That was the greatest game of that console generation.
It is. It that easily steamrolls every movie, and like I don't even know what the campaign of that movie is. That game is.
I don't even know either. I just remember going on the multiplayer mode, doing the space battles. You fly into the other person's base. You get the if you get the clone ship where you can fit a bunch of people in it, and then you just land in their hangar bay.
Yeah, that shit was great.
And you just run inside and you play as the engineer, so you can place the bombs on everything.
You put your
like
timed
goodbye to your shields.
explosives. Sorry, I guess I just blew up your shields in 2 seconds. Our shields have been destroyed.
The enemies have taken back a command post. Take it back.
The enemies have taken a command post.
I loved all the memes that spawned from that. You know, the when your teacher thinks you're taking the test, but you're actually capturing enemy command posts.
Yeah.
Or,
that's good shit.
Her, come over. Me, I can't. I'm busy. Her, the enemies have captured a command post. Me, and it's the cover of the game with the clone trooper running forward.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's such a memeable, it's such a good meme format. You can put it anywhere. The enemies have captured a command post. Because, like, that's what you do when the enemies have captured a command post.
You gotta take it back.
You gotta take it back.
It's like the Thanos meme where it's like, what did it cost you? Everything.
Everything.
But it's like, we took A. What did it cost you? C.
That's the tide.
It's like every single shooter. It's like, I feel like that's the most relatable meme if you've ever played any game where you have to capture bases. It's like, cool, we finally captured A, but we lost C. Or it's like, we got B, but we lost A.
That's because, like, the weird thing about games like that where there's a capture objective is the entire team, everyone will fight to a standstill, and then one team will go rush one objective, and then the other team rushes the now undefended objective, so they just swap.
Yeah, everyone Zerg rushes the other spot.
And even if there's like a couple people left behind, they can't hold that. They can't hold that by themselves.
When I used to play WoW PvP, you played WoW PvP before, so you know what I'm talking about, like Alteric Valley. Not Alteric Valley, Arathi Basin.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, we've captured the lumber mill, but now we lost the mines. Okay, well, I'll rush the steel mill. Oh, but now we lost the lumber mill. Everyone just move as one giant unit taking bases, but then losing them. And then the team that wins is the one that has one guy just go and capture the other ones while everyone's busy.
Yeah. You gotta play the long game.
And then you have some people playing defense where it's like, don't worry, guys, I by myself will defend the lumber mill. And then their entire team shows up.
And they just get stomped because that's how it goes. It's unfortunate, but that's the meta.
That's the meta.
Just death ball meta.
That's never the most fun either.
No, because like with that, you go with your entire team, and you don't even really get a kill ever because everyone else is already there.
Yeah. All you're basically doing is just being an extra body there. Because whoever has more people on the field is more like just pretty much wins.
Yeah.
Unless it's a team of idiots versus people that are all pros.
It happens occasionally, but not very often.
That's why my favorite was Warsong Gulch, because it was Capture the Flag, but I ignored Capture the Flag because I'm like, wait a second. I'm just going to stay in the middle and do all the fights. Just, everybody's got to fight me because I'm here in the middle, so who cares? I'm just here for the kills.
I feel like let me play this scenario out for you. You're standing there in the middle of Capture the Flag the entire time, just the entire match. Both teams are sitting in their bases looking at you standing in the middle of the field alone, and they're like, he never goes for the flag. Then why is he even here? He's here
I picture
to
it's more
kill.
of like I picture it's more of a it's like the movie Troy. You know when Achilles goes up to the gates, Hector!
Yeah.
Hector! I'm just there going, fight me! Just send somebody!
Fight me!
Like, no,
Just
we're
like
doing the entire team on defense. That way no one can steal the flag.
I will take
can't
all of
capture
your
the flag.
champions.
That's the strat. We can never capture the flag, but they can never capture ours if we're all on defense.
And then the game ends in a stalemate.
Yep, after waiting 20 minutes for it to end.
While you just sit outside the enemy base going, fight me!
I make an actual campfire, start sitting down next to it.
Cowards! Face me in battle.
Do you not wish to fight me like men?
That would be like the most Celtic warrior thing to do. Just go to the enemy's base and I will take you on. Who will face me? Shit, that guy's crazy. If that's just one guy on their team, we gotta all play on defense or they're gonna steamroll us.
That guy alone might steamroll us. Look how confident he is. None of us have that kind of confidence.
If only confidence was a stat in World of Warcraft. Just dominate the entire enemy team because you believe you can.
Dude, that guy's charisma is through the roof.
He just killed us all.
Imagine doing a basic PvP capture the flag game in an MMO like WoW, and you have to go and do the speech to your teammates. You get there and you're like, listen, we may be down 2 points out of 3. However, this, with 10 minutes left, is our time. We will assault their base, every single one of us. Grab the flag, hold our positions, do it again, tie up the game, and in overtime, we shall have it.
We shall taste victory this day.
Listen, man, I'm just doing my dailies. Even if we don't win, I still get points for participating.
Shut up, Buttlord 99. You're bringing the whole team down. I'm just doing my dailies too. You shut up as well.
I'm playing with a mouse that the right mouse doesn't really work, and I'm missing a few keys on my keyboard. But do you have spirit? Kinda. Good enough.
Good enough. You will lead the vanguard. You will charge and bring us to glory.
And by bring us to glory, you will go first, have them use all their good abilities, and then we'll kill them while all their good abilities are on cooldown.
That's the strat. That's why you need to have a bad keyboard Ben.
And then you get the guy, he doesn't say anything the entire match. He's just quiet, standing in the corner, and then the second everything goes, he just quietly runs out there, rushes in, kills everybody that comes across him, and just grabs the flag and just keeps getting the flag.
Yes.
He's just the
player I like to call the Doom Slayer.
The Doom Slayer.
Because he just goes out there, kills like you can hear the Doom music playing, but he says nothing, and he kills everyone.
He'd be playing something like Rogue, something with like a high skill ceiling.
So it's just oh,
gets MVP, leaves right away, doesn't even stay at the end for like GG.
Who was that man? That, my friend, was the Doom Slayer.
That man has played this game every day for 12 hours a day for the past 15 years.
All he does these days is PvP. They say not even the thrill of the kill reaches his heart.
He only plays now because that's all he knows. His heart stopped being in it long ago. He's more of a shell than a man.
All he knows is violence and war and player versus player combat. Wow.
And then occasionally he gets on his Discord and says something profane.
He likes to drop swears in his guild's Discord. They put up with it because he could kill them all in a 1v1 duel.
They put up with it because he basically is their one-man raid knight.
All right, Tom, it's time to raid. Well, Tom never says anything in chat. We'll just have to hope that he shows up.
Tom will then show up and then say something like racist from 4chan from 10 years ago that he still thinks is funny, and they'll be like, just kill the boss, Tom.
It's a good one, Tom. And then the Doom music kicks in, and he kills the boss in 0.2 seconds. That wasn't Doom. That was Killing in the Name of.
Killing in the name of.
Killing in the name of. We should move on.
Yes.
We should segue into.
Speaking of killing, no one kills anyone this week in this show. So, Boonies Kid, Boonies boy.
They place Lloyd in a position explicitly so that he does not kill anybody.
Yeah, I find it funny how they're doing a school tournament and everything coming up, but they realize he simply can't compete because he would absolutely annihilate everybody.
Yeah, they're going like they have everyone shoot their magic at an anti-magic dummy, but everything Lloyd casts is so ridiculously overpowered. And then like the last one does wind magic, and it just makes like a little tornado around it. And they're like, see, Lloyd, you can use wind magic. And then it just crumbles into dust. And they're like, well, shit.
Good try.
You tried, Lloyd. You'll be the water boy.
I don't get how, though, he's at the point where he still thinks he's bad. It's like, dude, how do you not realize that everything, you can basically turn everything to dust with a touch?
He shoots like just the largest fireball, and then he's like, I messed it up. Bruh.
You destroyed the building behind it.
Yeah, like the worst thing that happened there was you just demolished the gymnasium. You blew up the locker rooms. Dude.
But, yeah, so we get new villains, I guess, that show up this episode. People from the robot arm girls past.
Yeah, because the competition is against a sorcery school. So, like, the evil, quote-unquote, evil lady from...
And Lloyd's harem keeps growing.
Because he's the best.
Yeah, everyone wants the boy. And he meets some seemingly autistic strong girl.
Yeah, she's a little off.
But she's strong enough to break one of his ribs with a kick.
Yeah.
But of course, it's only a broken rib. It'll heal in like 3 hours.
Yeah, so no biggie. Whatever. But someone hurt Lloyd.
Yeah, we meet a new character too who has the big gay for Marie.
Oh yeah,
but unfortunately,
the second year.
Unfortunately, though, Marie has the big Shotokan.
She's got that. She wants that sweet, sweet Shota. But the second year wants that witchy magic.
Wants the princess person.
She wants her.
Yes.
And she's real. She's going to be our rival character.
For only an episode, probably.
Yeah.
Also, I love how she shows up. Hey, you stay out of this. You're way less good than me. I'm going to show you guys how good I am. I'm a genius. Haha. Oh, whoa. And she died. Well, she doesn't die. She gets her ass blasted instantly.
She is wiped out of the arena literally in one move.
She goes to do some magic punch, and then the other girl just hits her with a water blast so hard that it sends her to the other arena. Just boom.
Because this is like it's like the tournament arc in Dragon Ball Z, where it's like there's a square, and if you get knocked out of the square, you lose.
It's a tournament arc with nobody in the arena.
Yeah, the arena is very empty. I don't know if that was a purposeful decision or if things were just coming down to the wire.
Maybe this world is also experiencing a pandemic.
You know what? That's
Can't have
fair.
crowds.
They're being safe. They just want to be safe. Social distancing.
But I am glad we're focusing on the girl with the metal arm because I like her the best.
Me too. And I like her story.
Yeah.
I think her story's interesting. She grew up in an orphanage, and then
the
witch
lady wants to destroy the orphanage because she won't die for the sword or something.
There's a magic sword at the beginning of the episode that naturally Lloyd just fucking pulls out because he's Lloyd. But basically, the Snake Lady's plan was to have the arm slowly suck magic energy out of Arm Girl, and then she would make her pull the sword out of the stone so that the Snake Lady could have it. Also, the tournament arc, like, the grand prize for winning the tournament is the fucking legendary sword.
Yeah, which is probably which at the end we see as a big surprise to both of them.
I like how it was just the tavern owner guys. He was like, "What can I do? What would be a good grand prize?" I know. And then
I don't know if he's allowed to do that.
I don't either.
That feels like you need some clearance from people up top.
Yeah, you can't just be giving out legendary weapons to high schoolers.
Yeah.
You can't. That's not okay. But whatever.
If someone said it was okay, then I guess it's okay.
It's up to that. It's not up to us. It's not up to us.
The government of this country doesn't seem very legitimate, to be honest, though.
No.
Considering that the king got taken over by a demon lord because some middle rank commander guy cast a curse on him.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point right there.
But this does not seem like the series where world building is something you should really take that much into consideration.
Yeah, the focus is on characters and characters being funny, and Lloyd just being a good boy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically all that happens with that.
It's pretty simple, we get some good backstory. It's another setup episode. We're setting things up because we're in this, I guess, new mini arc. Oh, I don't know how the arcs in this work because it seems like we're moving through them kind of fast.
It does seem though that the bad guy they're setting up is his old best friend.
Yeah, and that seems like a bummer, but I mean it kind of makes sense because you need someone who's on Lloyd's level to be the bad guy, and that's a bad guy that actually puts some stakes into it because that's a bad guy that Lloyd wouldn't want to fight.
Yeah. And someone he actually doesn't believe he could beat anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no way I can beat him. He's stronger than me.
He's the greatest boy, dude. I can't fight that guy.
He's so strong.
He's a strong boy.
He's so big and strong. Next is X-Arm.
Fuck.
So the one good animated thing, good loosely, I'm using good very loosely, the one good animated thing so far is the ogre suit.
The thing that does not look like a person.
Yeah. That it moves almost fluidly. Almost.
It's a decent looking model that moves okay. At best. There are some parts where that falls apart a little bit, but that's fine. We also get more footage that's just directly ripped from the episode and put into the OP, so that's cool.
Yep, shows even that was a lazy attempt.
Although I will say the one shot where Ogre's coming down from the moon, they did change what the moon looks like in the OP. So we can't say that they put literally zero effort into it.
That's true.
They did one thing.
10% is still a percent over zero.
I feel like 10% is a little high.
That's a little much to give them.
It's giving them a little too. We'll give them a little bit of credit, not that much.
We give more of the smoke filter that they use. That's just a filter over the camera.
Yeah, that looks awful.
Yeah, because it moves with the camera, not with the scenery. And then when the part where the robot gets hit by the missile, it's a clear Adobe After Effects explosion effect, and the fire even afterwards. It doesn't match up at all whatsoever.
No, it is bad, and they zoom in on it and get like super close, and they are unabashed in showing the things that they should not be showing.
I mean, to be fair, nothing should be shown in this show. Nothing looks good enough to show. There's not a single shot of the show I would say that looks pretty good. I think only maybe the ogre parts without anything else attached to it. And even then, most of the backdrop kind of ruins it.
Oh God, the backdrop is so bad.
I do like when he gets grabbed by the robot and he just does that like slight knee to it.
And she lets him go, and I was like, what the he didn't hit you that hard. It's not good.
It's also weird too, because I know this is probably meant to be a fast fight, but it looks so weird when he slowly runs up a wall and jumps off of it. Like, you need way more momentum than just like a light jog up it.
Yeah, nothing. Like, there's no impact or momentum or like sense of force behind literally anything.
And the UN decides to drop a huge ass bomb on this area, and they get somehow approval to do that.
Yeah, we'll just nuke this town, which is fine because like we've never seen anyone else, so I'm assuming the place is just empty.
Yeah.
Oh, we do get a scene where they start rescuing civilians that were just around, I guess. Because Akira's like, guys, you need to go rescue the civilians and get them out of here. And I was actually sitting on my couch like, what civilians? Where? I haven't seen a single civilian.
Yep. And then they start hand drawing in a bunch of random people.
And it looks so awful.
Like the part where the part where the girl teammate tries to like lift up a bunch of stuff to help people looks abysmal.
It is.
They're clearly on two separate planes. It's not even close.
Yeah. It like
at least the parts where Akira's with his brother, the lighting at least kind of blends it, but if you look more than 2 seconds, you can tell.
Yeah.
But that is just
everyone is cardboard cutouts and just drawn with MS Paint.
Yeah, no thought is made to how they fit into the space that they're in or anything.
That's why I say, man, there is no director.
Everyone got their own assignment sent to them. They weren't told what everyone else was doing, and then someone just put it all together at the end.
And it looks bad. They did a bad job.
There's a part too where when he's fighting the maid while she's in the robot, she's like, because she's like angry. Just still there's no emotion though. No expression.
No. It sounds like she's deflating. It's bad. It's just bad.
And here's the weird thing. I don't know, because the show is bad. I don't know if she's not showing any expression because she's an android or if that's just a failing on their part.
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have the same issue. I'm not sure what is supposed to be like robotic android stuff and what is supposed to be like actual emotion. Because even at the scene where they try to make us sad that the android lady is dying, because surprise, they use the X arm against itself and they make the bad guy's head disappear. Holy shit. Because Akira realigns all of the GPS satellites, which everyone acknowledges as being a huge fucking disaster. But then they're like, we'll just
on a
deal with
global
that.
Scale.
Yeah, it turns out that ruins everything. But you know what? Whatever. We're X-Arm. We'll just deal with that later. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we just won't deal with that. Akira goes berserk mode. And I feel like the berserk Akira model would look cooler if it was not made better.
Like how it is, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I see the ideas behind it, and I'm like, that could be cool. It could be. It's not.
It's not. You know what's weird?
A lot.
I feel like this show, if it was done better, like, the story isn't terrible. Like, it isn't bad.
Yeah, it
would be fine. Like, it's the production that kills it. But if this was even like a middling animated show, like just something that Studio Dean like threw together and it was just subpar looking but still passable, it would be 100% less offensive. And I'd actually probably be like, hey, it's kind of rough, but it's pretty good.
It's neat. This is kind of cool. It's a neat sci-fi series. That's what it could be.
But it can't.
But it can't. It just can't.
It can never be anything more than that.
Because I can't even remember most of any of the plot stuff simply because I'm so blown away with how bad everything looks.
It's also kind of hard to sort of follow it sometimes because everything's so bad. Everything's shot in a confusing way. The cuts are all weird. Everything is just all over the place. Camera angles are always at the weirdest spot.
That's true. I don't like. Again, it feels like the director has never directed anything.
They never establish what we're supposed to be looking at until like past the point where we would have needed to know that.
And surprise, that's not how you make a scene.
Yeah, the director has never worked in animation before, so is what it is.
He fucked it up. He fucked this one up pretty bad. I found that this episode wasn't as fun bad to watch.
It wasn't, just because most of it was a fight that was, instead of fun bad, just bad since the ogre suit actually looked fine, but the fight was still bad. So it was like, it looks fine, but it moves terribly. Now we can see just how bad the rigging is.
I think the ogre suit looks a little bit too good to be fun.
Yeah. And the way it looks good, but the way it moves is absolutely terrible.
It's awful.
It's just slow and floaty like everything in this.
I honestly hate it a lot.
Yeah.
But there's nothing we can do about it. We're going to stick with it and see what other just awful things this show drops on us. I'm excited, but I'm not really.
Now, a show that drops good things, Dr. Stone.
This show does drop good things.
I'm reminded why I like Tsukasa. He's a good villain. Because you know what? He's a charismatic guy. You can see why people follow him. Even though he's against listening to CDs.
He's against CDs and antibiotics and practical things.
Chromu gets captured. And the guy who captures him, the ear guy, we find out he's not that bad. He might be actually gonna join our side soon. He might, he might be helpful.
I'm curious. I want to know what his play is going to be.
We also find out he was a submarine, like sonar operator.
Yes.
Who is this kid? Why is everybody Danganronpa kids in this?
I don't know. Like,
kids don't do that.
I can't figure out if he's supposed to be a kid or if he's
because he's only reviving like kids. Remember?
Yeah.
But for some reason, he's reviving all the kids that have six packs.
All the super powered, super awesome kids.
Yeah, and then the ones that look like cavemen.
Yes. The ones that definitely don't look like kids or even young people for that matter. Because a lot of the background dudes that are super Unga Bunga cavemen look like they're in their 40s.
Also, think about that. They look more cavemen than the people of the village, of Ishigami Village. Those dudes are from our timeline, and they choose to look like Unga Bunga cavemen.
I guess that makes them easier to control. I don't know. I got nothing. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
But Tsukasa is a charismatic villain because we get a conversation between him and Chrome that's actually pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, because he actually explains, he's like, I'm not against science, because we use tools and stuff here, but if you saw what the world ended up being like because of science, you would know it's too dangerous.
And there was a split second where I was like, oh shit, he's kind of got a point.
World War II was pretty bad, and that's what they're showing. World War II, because that's what science leads to.
Science leads to World War II and World War I. And like 7,000 wars between France and England.
France and England were real good at that. Basically, humanity got to where it is because the French and the English couldn't stop wanting to kill each other.
Yeah. I'm psyched. Maybe that's why humanity has stopped developing in such an interesting fashion.
Yeah. We stagnated because the French and the English get along now.
We need to make the French and the English start fighting again so we can get like hoverboards and cool shit like that.
We need to do like a false flag operation in London, make it look like it was like the French.
I'll take it to my CIA contacts and see if we can't start a war between the French and the English.
Because that's what the world needs right now. Conflict between European powers. It just isn't right without it.
It doesn't feel the same.
It's the natural state of Europe, to be in constant conflict with itself.
You're not wrong.
Tsukasa goes on about the natural state of the world, like man becoming more like animals and cavemen. And then I stop him and go, no, the natural state of the world is Europeans fighting other Europeans.
Trust me, I'm a white guy. I know this.
I'm a white guy. I know that I gotta fight other white guys with different accents.
We need to res all of England and all of France so that they can continue fighting, because that's the natural order of things. And then you start your own faction that has to fight against Tsukasa and Senku's factions just because you want to start a war between France and England again.
Oh, the layers.
This show has so many layers to it. It's all intrigue.
And then if France and England kind of stop fighting, or it looks like they're about to make peace, I'll just go wake up Germany.
Shit,
like, hey, come on, get in there.
You instantly just wake up Germans and just point them and go, schnell, schnell, mach schnell. And they know what to do. Give them a spear, point them towards England and France, and they'll know what to do.
And they'll just look and be like, oh my, sacre bleu.
And then the Blitzkrieg, and we bring back trenches.
And then they start fighting again, and then we're like, all right, guys, the world's back to normal.
And then within 3 years, we're back to where we started before everything turned to stone.
Yeah,
and
we're
Senku's
back to
like,
normal.
shit.
It's like, it really wasn't about science. It was just about making the European powers fight each other.
All we had to do was res Europe. I didn't know it could be so easy. Just make Europe fight, and then we'd have all our science back.
It's like, yeah, I didn't even need to res all of Europe, because I res Spain, and they just sat out from the entire thing. And then I
So
res
that
Italy.
was a waste of time.
Yeah, and then I resed the Italians, and then they just ran in and got knocked out.
It was funny to watch, but if I don't have to do it again, I'd rather not.
And I'm not waking up the Russians yet, because I'm just a little scared.
The Russians can stay put. We're good.
Who knows what they're going to do the second they get out of the stone?
Instantaneously, we de-stone like 2 people from Russia, and they just instantly, the USSR is back. We have brought back Soviet Union. Well, shit. How was I supposed to know that guy was Russian? I don't know. I don't know where we are. I just rezzed someone.
It's like, oh no, what do we do to combat this? Actually, we're good. The Japanese have already been rezzed. It's like, all right, guys, Russo-Japanese war again.
We go back and we're like, Tsukasa.
We just have to recreate all the wars in human history.
Some of which by accident. I like the alternate histories we write for this show. Where it's like, what if...
Technically, it's not even history. It's just an alternate future.
Yeah.
Because they're thousands of years ahead of us.
What if we were there to just fuck things up in our usual fashion? And you know what?
They're back in the Industrial Revolution, though, so that's cool. They make the steam engine.
Yeah, they build like a steam car because they're going to camp out near Tsukasa's base because they're running out of time.
And then we get to see what all of them look like if they were industrial era ladies and gentlemen.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
I like how Magma had the cigar.
Do you ever want to go back to a period where we have to dress, like, the standard dress wear that you wear for your daily life involves, like, 3 shirts, a tie, gloves?
I would be okay going back there. I would, because I like that style.
Yeah, it does look nice. The only thing I could think of was you'd probably be wearing that in, like, June and stuff, too, and you'd probably be like, eh.
Yeah, that would be
the like, men in, like, videos of, it's, like, the middle of the summer, and they're just like, they just take off their hat and fan themselves a little bit, but they're still wearing a full suit. Hey,
brother, the hat, it's a decent fan. I think you might feel a little better if you took the jacket off. Oh, and then, no, that's indecent.
And then the button-up shirt under that.
At least roll your sleeves up, man. But if I could make my own modifications, i.e. taking off the jacket and rolling up the sleeves, I think I could handle it.
That's true.
Ladies in the big elaborate dresses would be real screwed, though.
Yeah. It screws over women a lot harder.
Yeah. What if there was... All right, what if we bring it back, but we use modern technology and fashion techniques? We give the lady dresses a more breathable fabric. We give them fucking pockets, dude. I guarantee if we put pockets in those motherfuckers, that trend would catch on instantly.
Yeah, but I feel like they don't want to go around looking like a flamingo constantly.
You don't underestimate the allure of pockets. Especially in women's clothing. They don't get those. They don't get those very often.
What if we just let women all wear suits, too? We all just wear suits.
I would be down with that, too.
We're all business.
All business, all the time.
We're like the Pixies from the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah. I'd be down with that. Give me more reasons to put a tie on. I love it.
Yeah. Give me reasons to have to learn how to tie a tie instead of just tying it once and then just kind of loosening and unloosening the tie just to put it on and off.
I mean, I know how to tie a tie, but I still do that because I'm lazy as fuck.
I'll tie a tie and then be like, all right, well, because I used to work at a job where I needed to wear a tie, but it would be just a pain. So I'm like, I don't care. Most of the tie, like the bottom part, is obscured by my jacket anyway. So I can just, like, tighten and loosen the loop. And you'll never notice. But then the knot gets really, really small the more you do that.
Yeah. It's a struggle, you know? Ties are a struggle, but they can look, a good tie can look real nice.
You gotta get easier ties, like a bolo tie.
They have ties that are like literally it's already tied and they're permanently like that. You can just slide the knot.
Clip-ons?
No, not a clip-on. It's like actually a looped tied tie.
I think clip-ons should stop having the stigma against them, because what's the point if it's tied on or not? You can't tell it's a clip-on.
Sometimes you can tell.
I guess if it's a cheap one, but most you wouldn't be able to.
It's a tough sell. Breaking that stigma is going to be real hard.
To be fair, though, most people don't wear suits anyway, so.
Yeah, so we don't have to.
At this point, it's like, oh, he's wearing a sweater vest? Wow, he's really dressed up today.
He's going all out. Holy shit.
Is it someone's wedding?
I almost put on a sweater vest the other day, but then I realized I don't own one.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to put one of those on if you don't have it.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Some people. What do you say?
Rika probably would have thunk it.
She would have thunk it. Higurashi Gou.
So
we don't find out whether Rika gets shot or not. We actually see more of what happened after the original ending.
Yeah, we get flashbacks.
Because they show the original ending of Higurashi where Takano loses and her plans get all destroyed in front of her, and the group's like, hey, we did it. We saved the day. But now we're in a world where Mion graduated and went off to high school. So now Keiichi is the class rep. But him and Rena are probably going to be gone soon because they're in their last year of middle school.
Yeah.
And Rika and Satoko are kind of the only two there. So you can clearly see the signs of why Satoko is probably a little in a bad spot. All of her friends are leaving.
They're all leaving. She even loses at a game because she can't cheat. And Keiichi's like, no cheating.
We're using the honor system now.
And she, you know what? That basically takes her whole gimmick away from her. That sucks.
And then at the end of the episode, to top it all off, she finds out Rika wants to go to another school.
But Rika does say that she wants to do it. She wants to leave together.
Yeah, but I don't think Satoko's going to get in. I think that's going to be the thing. Oh, you failed. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to go have fun. Good luck.
I agree.
And then she's going to be like, you abandoned me. I'm going to shoot you with my gun.
I'm going to shoot you with this gun that I just have. What a shitty thing to do. I'd be pretty pissed.
I'm going to shoot you with my Desert Eagle. Satoko, no! There are still people in the other 3 rooms.
There are people in this building. You'll just kill all of them. I don't care. The whole building has been torn down to its foundation. What happened?
I feel like what we're going to find out is that Satoko and Hanyu might be working together.
Yes.
Because I feel like the Hanyu that Rika is seeing is not the... is just kind of like a... It's sort of like an echo of Hanyu, not the actual one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Hanyu's probably like upset that Rika left.
I think in one of the few, we don't get a whole lot in Go, but one of the few Rika Hanyu conversations, I feel like Hanyu even says that. She's like, I'm not the same Hanyu as before. I'm like, yeah, I think she even says she's an echo or something like that.
I'm pretty sure too she led her to the sword to kill her. Not like for Rika to kill herself, but for her to kill Hanyu. It's like, get rid of the real me. Because the real me is not being nice right now. And then you gotta kill Satoko. You gotta kill Satoko.
Kill everyone.
Kill everyone in Hinamizawa.
And then
destroy the village.
The whole key, the final thing that we needed was for Rika to discover that murder was the answer. And she just has to kill everyone.
That'd be such a weird ending where, like, Rika is the Hinamizawa murderer. Rika's the one that kills everybody.
That would be very bizarre.
The despair ending where Rika's like, fuck it, and kills everybody.
Fuck it. I don't care.
Who cares? Awesome. Let me just, like, destroy the village. Whatever. Fuck it.
Rika, please kill me so I don't have to listen to you speak like that anymore. I don't even care. Fuck it. I'll just kill you.
Fuck it. Whatever.
Oh, God. This is the worst timeline. They went from the best timeline to the worst.
I hope that when this ends, she doesn't have to... She can go back to the regular timeline, so she doesn't have to go through all of that again. But then at the same time, that means she had to have been killed in the modern period because she died again, technically, which is why this is all happening. So someone killed her in, like, the... I don't know if it's 5 years later or whatever we're at right now, like the modern time, like Rika's actual age.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone killed her, which I imagine at this point now is probably Satoko.
That's my guess as well.
She probably came back to Hinamizawa and was like, hey, how have you been? I've been having a great time at my new school.
And Satoko was like, that's great. I've been having a good time too. By the way, I found this desert eagle. And then she just blows her away.
She blows up all of Hinamizawa.
And then Rika has to get sent back to the past, like Samurai Jack.
Gotta get back to the past.
Where's the meme edit where Rika gets killed so hard that she ends up going on a Samurai Jack adventure with Samurai Jack? I would pay money for that.
I feel bad that Satoko is
the bad guy now.
Just because it's like, come on, man. The only thing I could think of was, like, Teppei would show up again and things get worse for her again after everyone leaves, and she doesn't have her friends around to, like, help fix the problem.
Yeah. I could see it, but I would prefer, like, everyone left me, so I went crazy.
I don't know. Like, I don't think I would prefer that one, because then that's just like, bro, that's pretty extreme. My friends went and left, so I'm gonna disembowel you. He disemboweled her. That's taking it to another level. Like, even if you're mad at your friends and you're gonna kill your friends, don't disembowel them.
Even if you're gonna kill your friends. But, like, I think I wouldn't be satisfied with... Well, not entirely. They've got some work to do to make me satisfied with the Satoko flip. That's where I'm going to stand. Because, like, yeah, she's been through a lot of shit. So now she's the bad guy because bad things happen to her. Which is not a fun trope. It's not fun.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You can see what happens if you stick with us.
Right. We are on very many forms. You may find us in a great many places. If you are on YouTube, then like the video and subscribe to the channel and make sure that notifications are turned on so that you can be notified when a new episode goes live. If you're on Deezer, Spotify, iTunes, the Google Play one, iHeartRadio, then follow us, subscribe, whatever the appropriate form of following us is on those. And it should just automatically download it. How cool is that?
That is pretty cool. A lot of people are very happy about that.
A lot of people are pretty happy.
People are like, we are so happy about this. We're honestly really excited. We think you guys are doing great with that.
A lot of people are pretty psyched about it. I look at our our monthly downloads every week, and it's steadily going up. You know, we're doing some good numbers, so I think some people are pretty psyched about that.
And we have clips now.
We do. We have easily shareable clips on our YouTube channel. So if you're ever if you're trying to convince someone, like, hey, you should listen to this podcast, and they're like, but I need a bite-sized form of media before I can.
Yeah. I need essentially a little teaser.
I see. Foreplay is a very important part of the podcast process. I can't just get into a podcast. I need to be teased a little bit first. That's where the clips come in.
So yeah, if you like any of those clips and think some of your friends would too, share them.
Share them and like them. Like those videos. It's perfect. We're also on social media, so you can follow us on social medias.
Yeah, Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist Seat.
Because it's easy. It's easy that way.
It's very easy. It's convenient.
Exactly. We wanted to make it as convenient as possible. As always, our amazing OP was done by Popskyy. Link to his stuff in the description below. And that's all we got. Class dismissed.